What's up, guys? I'm Jacob.
I'm
Suggs.
glad you
Welcome back
made
to
that text. I definitely don't. Here's the thing: I don't like to see people's faces when we're having a greeting.
Wait, what do you prefer?
Wait, what?
What do you mean?
No. Listen,
Everyone must look away. Never look me in the eye.
someone
Wear a
someone,
mask.
when they
Rags is
greet
a dog,
you and
he
they
generally-
say their name, then I want to make sure that I don't see their face until they're done with the greeting and their introduction. Then I want to see their face.
Why? It's so weird.
No, I
Who
don't.
makes these
That's
social
I know
rules?
that's weird. That's the point I'm trying to say. This is weird to start a video out.
No, I'm saying you're weird.
I know I'm weird, but I'm trying to illustrate that it's weird for people to do that. I don't actually think that. I've subverted your
Oh, I see.
expectations.
I see.
All right.
I don't believe
I'm highlighting how it worked, just in a way that I didn't intend. That it's weird for
Jeez.
people to do this.
Another video, and today we're going to be talking about Star Wars because, well, it was the series that inspired me to want
Hey,
to
this
tell
is the scene with the
stories of
despairing
my...
knife.
Yeah, but don't. Yeah, recommendation for anybody who's defending the film: don't show that clip in your video ever.
Don't show this scene.
Just
this
ever.
whole scene. Just
How
don't
depressing.
forget it exists.
How depressing would it be if Star Wars is what inspired you to write stories, and then this is what you have to deal with now?
Oh.
Well,
yeah.
it depends which
So
Star Wars.
has this?
That's what I mean. Like if the original.
Has this chap gone into great success in the whole storytelling field? Like, is he now?
If he's
is he now
using
an author,
using TLJ as like a jumping off point, I seriously doubt it.
Well,
That's
he's on
just my
YouTube, so-
opinion.
I mean,
I have lots of form rejections from agents everywhere.
Were you gonna say something, Shad?
Yeah,
Go
don't
ahead.
show this scene.
Oh no, yeah, I was just wondering, depending which Star Wars he was inspired by. Just
I think Shad likes this scene because
No.
I will explain. I have a reason, much like I have for everything that I believe. So in this scene, there's a lot of red swords, and when I look at Shad's icon, I don't know. I'm getting a little I don't know, the red hued weaponry.
Have I
El
ever asked
Sordo
that,
Rojo, as they say down south. You
I
know,
can't remember if I've asked you this before, Shad, but you saw TLJ in the cinema, right?
I did.
So what were you feeling when you saw this scene for the first time?
I wasn't paying attention. Like generally, when I go into a movie, I go into a movie. And
that diversity of all people not paying attention to your grandiose fight
to your
scene,
sword fight, yes.
your melee fight.
That's like the
Yeah,
Ryan would
I
probably
try
call
and
it
turn
the
off my
crescendo
brain.
of the whole film. That fight building up and exploding at the
I
end.
know, it's when
were you still recovering from the whole Snoke thing? And you're like,
Ah,
I still
that- like,
can't
there was-
believe that
there
shit
was
just happened.
there was so much dumb happening, and I generally, when I go into a movie, try to enjoy it. I turn my brain off and I try to enjoy it. But like even
a
with
good
the Last
sign.
Jedi, there was so many plot holes going on where it was like it was too hard to not notice. With the fight scene itself, though, because there's a lot of movement happening and it's really quickly, I didn't pick up on a lot of the horrible mistakes until I paid attention to it and I looked closely and I'm like, whoa, hang on. And then it just turns out it's like one of the worst fight scenes ever. And
I think that's fair. Like, it is one of those scenes that can just wash over you, and it's gone before you really have a time to think about it.
Exactly. And when you're not paying attention, it's a lot of flashy movement. You can be like, oh yeah, I'm into it. This is cool. It's a bit Hollywood kung fu-y. And then you actually look at the specific moves and the fact that Daisy Ridley and the other guy, they're out of sync to the other guys and they're missing their marks and they're hitting wrong and then they're out of time and then they should have died in many places and the blade disappearing and you're just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Look, this is $1 million, multi-million-dollar movie. You expect them to take multiple takes of action shots. Come on.
People unironically say, like, well, in fairness, it was all like one take for a portion of it. And it's like, okay, but keeping the camera
So make it
on
not
is
one
not
take.
something to celebrate if you're recording dog shit.
Oh yeah, well it was my first draft.
Oh yeah,
If you
well,
think, like,
oh yeah, well, I'm
yeah, if you
retarded,
think-
so.
Yeah.
If you think this is the best of what they were able to produce as well, like I would love to see the worst, like all the blown takes.
Apparently, Hello Greedo is asking what the fuck is going on. Again, people don't do anything mean, cruel, or raid like. Just be friendly or leave him alone because I don't want to.
Is he coming in?
No, I don't think so. He's just apparently he's really confused in his own stream right now.
He's mining diamonds.
Let him mine diamonds in peace. Send him messages of love, okay?
He's not mining for boulders, is he?
A super chat a day keeps the creepers away.
Truth from the source.
Fucking kill me.
Star Wars because, well, it was the series that inspired me to want to tell stories of my own, and to be honest with you, I just feel like...
Why don't you just turn the lightsaber around? If that thing touches him, he's dead.
What was the thing that she could literally turn it off, flip it in your own hand, turn it back on?
I know, like she's just holding the lightsaber there.
Didn't she cut through his weapon?
Things. If she just rotated her wrist 90 degrees and then back, she hits him in the head. But she's just holding it there like it's doing nothing.
I'm glad this grown-ass adult man can't overpower her.
I love how she's just looking at it there, like she just doesn't have a fuck to give.
that is Rey throughout all of the films. Rey never has a fuck to give.
I can't believe this mortal is trying to kill me. Rey.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I suppose I'm going to have to do stuff to get out of this now. God.
Like I've never talked about Star Wars as much as I've wanted to.
And then we brought up, you brought up the whole, if you are straining to keep somebody from slicing your face hole with a bladed weapon, and you just let go, what's going to happen to their weapon? It's going to stay exactly where it is, of course.
You know, when she dropped her lightsaber, he's like, "Oh, this is the part of the fight where we drop our weapons and back away." I was like,
did she just let go of her?
Like, Rey, that's not fair. I dropped my weapon. Why didn't you drop yours? This is like how combat works.
You besmirched the honor of the fight.
We spent
it's very easy. Just have one person on the door, just shoving the door, and then you open it. You all of a sudden open it from the other side and see what happens.
Apparently, apparently, Hello Greedo just said, "Will somebody please explain the Rhino milk thing to me?"
Oh, that is among the deepest of lores.
That's beautiful. In case he pulls up the street, hello Greedo. Hey, look, you could just say his name and it's a greeting. Peace and Rhino milk to you, sir.
Hello, Greedo.
Peace and Rhino milk to you, sir. Yeah, I was gonna say though, we spent near like an hour and a half solely going on tangents about how dumb it is, about the supremacy, the Star Destroyers and stuff. If we start talking about this scene, we will lose our minds. By the way, Robot Head is interested in coming on eventually too, and it's just like he's made a whole video just about this scene and how fucking dumb it is. TLJ is an infinite mine of like movie criticism. It's just the perfect thing. Like I said, I stand by the fact that I want it taught in schools. I would like it because it would give a lot of people ideas on how to avoid pitfalls when it comes to writing, or even execution of writing. Like taking the thing you have planned and ruining it regardless of what it was.
Honest with you, I just feel like I've never talked about Star Wars as much as I've wanted.
Yeah, he literally let her go.
Just standing there.
I did not notice the edit in there. The way he just completely changes position from one shot to the other.
But it's feels. Craftsmanship doesn't matter when it comes to feels, dude.
Fuck, man. I feel like I'm getting dumber by the second just watching this.
I love the inconsistency of how effective that armor is. I mean, it stops it when it's convenient to stop it, but when it's time to die, it's useless. It does nothing.
Right, yeah, because it blocks... doesn't Kylo's lightsaber... Doesn't Kylo's lightsaber
like
block up against it?
One guy uses his arms to block a full hit from Kylo's lightsaber, and so that should establish already that it can resist the first few hits of a lightsaber.
No, you have to
when
believe.
It's convenient in the plot.
What I will say is it does look like it's between. It looks like it's the neck. You could argue it's between two parts of the armor.
Maybe.
Well, no, the armor is red and Kylo's lightsaber is red. So obviously, it's
yeah. I see. If they had blue armor, they could have.
Baby's first lightsaber explanation. It's like red bad.
Maybe it's like RPG armor, where it's just like it applies a percentage chance to block an enemy hit.
Oh, there you go. He had a good roll against Kylo.
Yeah, he rolled poorly with Rey here, which is why both his knife disappeared. You rolled a 1. Your weapon disappears.
Your weapon fades from existence. Like what?
Your knife evaporates.
By the way, I can just picture if Rian Johnson ever listened to a podcast like this, he'd just be frowning. Like, fuck you guys. I worked really hard on this.
What do you say?
You know,
if you're
Ryan, I bet.
What did you say? It's funny his feet are sticking up.
I bet Rian Johnson is probably the nicest person in the world. He saves baby seals and gives all this money to the poor and everything like this. And it's probably see there thinking, I tried. I feel sorry for the guy.
Oh man.
I don't.
By the way, I just want to highlight that he's talking about something that we've not really addressed yet, 'cause he hasn't necessarily made a point just yet, but with background footage, we've already explored a shit ton of things he's not even brought up, the guy who made this video.
That's how bad this movie is.
I only wanted B-roll footage to my commentary. I wasn't trying to talk about
You can't even find B-roll that you can't criticize in this movie.
That's how bad DLJ is.
In the past, and that's kind of odd.
You doing okay,
considering
Kylo?
that
Established Force user?
I've just been a
Here,
massive
take this.
fan of the series my whole life. And today we're going to be talking about the sequel trilogy.
What if he turned the
because-
lightsaber on and it shut it out the other way? He's like, oh, this is
Shit,
embarrassing.
He gives an awkward
Wait,
look
what
to the guy
happened?
holding him, and he's like, "Oh, give me a sec." He gotta spin it around.
Okay, it's all good.
it or hate it, I've got some thoughts on it and just kind of
Oh,
wanted
look,
to share
another
them
scene where
here.
she's
I
American.
put these thoughts.
What is happening?
What are you doing? Is this on purpose?
Why are you fucking with us,
Subverting our
dude?
expectations.
I don't.
I love this idea that you can fix and reconfigure complex spaceships just by ripping out circuit boards. Like
That's how smart
easy
she
it
is.
to
Like in
do
real
shit.
life.
She is that intelligent.
I'm just
I
like
just-
next time my car doesn't start, I'm just gonna rip a random fuse box out and just see what happens.
Oh, hey, the Millennium Falcon. I was here for 5 minutes once.
Oh, hey, a spark plug. Let's rip that out.
on Twitter the other day.
This
and a
surely
lot of you
can't be
seem to
attached to
enjoy
the
it,
ship
so
for a reason.
I figured talking about this in a video might be a good format because I could express
I'm a
myself a
stormtrooper.
bit more and maybe even bring up some things I didn't talk about on Twitter.
It's a cataclysm. Everything is wrong. It's like you
I'm
fucked it all
not
up.
listening to what he's saying. I'm just criticizing this film. It's just the footage is funny.
On that
Oh, wait.
website.
BB-8 has a HAL 9000 eye.
That's a positive. There we go. We've drawn a positive.
I
I
never
was
noticed
thinking
that.
I just wanted to kick him. Just want to get line up BB-8 and just do this massive boot.
No, he's
He's a
like the
ball.
only consistent
He's like a
character in this
ball.
fucking franchise. Don't you dare kill BB-8.
But it's a ball. You just want to kick balls. It's just like boot.
Yeah, it's fair.
He is our
Oh,
precious only good character.
I mean, do
We
you
must
remember
value him.
BB-8 is almost a Mary Sue too. He fucking has a machine gun in his chest. He can operate ATSTs. Fucking everybody loves that guy. The Empire
shoot
doesn't even
coins,
arrest him.
jeez.
The Empire's just like, oh, it's BB-8, that's fine. I love that bit, by the way. He just they do the ambush in TLJ, and BB-8 just fucking rolls off to the side and he's got the box on him, it's fine. It's like, yeah, don't notice me. Like, what the fuck? He was the reason that they got found. He was scanned. Christ, this film.
He isn't that consistent. He literally turns into a weapon. How is that not consistent?
Some things I didn't talk about on Twitter because I'm just kind of limited on that website. That being
Okay.
said, let's just hop right into it and talk about why Rey isn't a Mary Sue and why she's actually kind of an amazing character.
Oh no!
Oh no! Not even why she isn't a Mary Sue. Why she's an amazing character.
It's so
Well, I
amazing
mean-
that I can't explain her abilities through any kind of rational means. So she's.
I
Mary
see.
Sue.
So the way you start with this is you define Mary Sue, and then if he's defined it in a way that we're not all familiar with, he might have an argument, but it doesn't even look like he's going to try that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the character had potential. It's in execution that they failed. They didn't explain why she was so good at all these different things, and because I don't mind the idea of a prodigy. I think the idea of this unknown prodigy character archetype can actually be really good if it's executed right. And one of the ways that you do, balance it out is by giving them some pretty big weaknesses and failings in character. To they're
Yeah,
good at this thing,
make them-
but
make
they're
them
really bad
struggle.
at these things.
Like Captain
Give them
Marvel.
struggles.
She could have been really
So-
strong physically if they made her feral. She's been living alone on some desert planet. Make her really fucked up emotionally.
No, that's how you become extremely charismatic and likable to everybody. When you're constantly surrounded by people who want to beat you up and nobody wants to talk to you ever.
That's true. When I'm sitting alone in my room and I'm scratching little marks on the wall because I live by myself for years and years, I become the most social person on the planet.
Naturally.
Yeah, you also do that by being a stormtrooper from birth.
Yeah. Oh my God. No PTSD there.
No,
I'm a comedic side.
Yeah, you're the most grinning and ass nigga.
Well, that escalated fast.
I love being a stormtrooper.
I love how you started to say that you tried to bail from it, then you're like, stuff it, it's too late.
it's okay. She's female and black. She has double passes for this.
Oh, come on. No one looks at Finn and thinks, oh, that's a smiling Negro right there.
It's fucking it's ridiculous.
He always has that grin on his face, and it's so off-putting because.
Well, yeah, and he describes his childhood. You're like, why?
A fucking murderer.
Why are
I'm
you?
a brainwashed soldier trained
Finn
for birth.
spends most of the movie terrified. Does he not?
Well, nothing
he
about
does
it makes
right
any
away.
sense. Nothing about Finn makes any sense at all.
Well,
Comedic relief.
it's hilarious too because if there was no strong female woman protagonist, if Finn was if Rey was a man, everyone would complain that this movie is racist. I mean, you got the stereotypical comedic minstrel black sidekick who is like inferior to the white hero.
Yeah, but she's female, so like you got that's a trend
Guys,
I've been noticing.
He steals
like,
a jacket. He tries to steal an escape pod.
Exactly, he's a thief. It's racist.
Yeah, it's a trend I've been noticing. They kind of like downplay black male characters if they're next to a female, like a white female. Like we need her to be stronger, and black men are just kind of a little too what's the word?
Aggressive.
Uppity?
Yeah, aggressive.
Well, yeah,
So
this is the thing.
Well,
Like,
there's a pyramid of oppression, you know. And
yeah, I was going to say
probably
females
women are at the
outrank
top of that.
black, right? Female
White
outranks
women are at the
black.
top.
Yeah.
Is it 3 points for female, 2 points for black? I can't remember. I have to check the
It's
booklet.
close, but if you're
Yeah, so if you get
the
a
only
black
way
female,
a white
then
can
you're
be
king of
above
the
a
hill.
black is if she's a she. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, sorry.
Interesting.
Finn,
Imagine Drax. Imagine his personality in Finn's body for the trilogy.
oh my god,
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
fucking wonderful.
I know it would that would kind of like work.
Yeah, or put someone like John Wick in Finn, where he's actually really efficient at his job. He knows the ins and outs of the First
Yeah.
Order, and he just wants to live.
But he's like
he's
a
tired of
social
killing people.
retard.
But then you
Yeah.
can't have that because that would be a character that would be a bit threatening towards the female, and it's
Uh-oh.
not allowed.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Yeah,
Competence
or
cannot
you
be
can
displayed beside the female.
yeah, or you can use a model for Finn, like Kurt Russell's character from Soldier, because that's what I envisioned when I think of how Finn came up. Like
I
he's
know that
completely
movie.
desensitized.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would make
I
total
remember that
sense.
movie.
I'm gonna guess that Rags does not know that movie.
Yeah, it's
You do?
great. It's I don't
you're
know.
fucking with me.
It's been so long since I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's not. I forget. I don't know. I remember
It's either the best movie I've ever seen, or I don't remember because it's bad.
That's fucking
It's pretty
terrible.
good.
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore.
Did you? Well, I'll tell you what you do know. You do
I
know
remember
that
Rey wasn't in it.
Rey is the best character in. She's a great character. Did you know?
And also,
How can I
as we
not
learned from the
know?
previous video, the Soldier doesn't care whether you liked it or not. It doesn't have opinions on
That's
that.
just the ultimate argument against everything. It doesn't care. It doesn't
It
care.
doesn't-
Movie
it
doesn't
doesn't
care.
care.
Movie doesn't care what your issues with it are. It doesn't fucking care. Fuck.
The inanimate object doesn't care about you.
Oh no, man. Oh, here we go. Definition. An idealized and seemingly perfect fictional character. Often, this character is recognized as an author insert or wish fulfillment. Now, I've agreed that the second portion of the standard definition of Mary Sue doesn't necessarily apply to Rey. I don't know that J.J. Abrams sees himself as Rey or anything like that. However...
What are you, a transphobe?
Yes, the first portion is absolutely applicable to Rey.
Yeah, the second portion is kind of attributing motivation for creating the character in the first place, but
Say
the
most
first
people
part is
don't
the
even-
actual definition.
Yeah, most people probably don't even
I think-
know of or use the second definition.
I think she's an audience insert, not a. I don't think it has anything to do with the creator. It's more like
Right.
she's
That's
a blank
that's
slate
fair.
for the audience.
Right.
I
maybe.
agree there. I was thinking the wish fulfillment part of Rey is to try and make her super, perfect. So basically, they were attempting to make Star Wars more palatable to a female audience, and that's the wish fulfillment kind of thing. Like, this is, you could,
Well,
stuff.
JJ's
Yeah.
admitted that like the Falcon sequence in TFA and a couple of others are like absolutely just wish fulfillment for the audience. It's supposed to be a scene for us to be like, yeah, We're doing this almost.
That was us. I
so
helped.
she is. If you can just alter it a little bit, then yeah, she's absolutely the audience. This is the thing. She reacts to a lot of things, and she gets to do a lot of things that the audience would totally do. For example, go and see Luke. It's like, why would she do that? Why would the audience do it? Fucking, are you kidding me? I can't wait to meet Luke. Luke fucking. I can't wait to talk to him. But Ray has no reason to talk. He's just a guy.
See, it might have been better if she had more awareness of Luke Skywalker. Like, she was almost like a Luke Skywalker fangirl in some way. Like she was obsessed with like the war and the events of like 30 years previously, and she totally knew everything about it. And it's like, okay, cool. Well,
like
she's got
the galaxy.
some. Yeah, well, like she's got some kind of investment in.
What I would have liked for Rey, I think this, like, it's a different take, but it would have worked cool, is if they wanted to do an overpowered force, sensitive character, if they ramped up her powers to insane levels and then have her struggle to controlling it, like just randomly she's hurting people and throwing things aside, and she wants to find Luke Skywalker to teach her how to control her powers. And then that would have such a good payoff, because it already establishes she's insanely powerful from the very beginning. And then when she actually starts to control it, then you could actually have that, say, an awesome moment, say, when she's lifting up a Death Star, because I caught that with what you guys I was saying before. That could kind of work, but now it's like it's being pulled out of nowhere. Like, where the hell is this coming from? And
the prequels obviously dealt with a character with similar abilities, like someone who's got a huge amount of power and very strong with the Force and all that, but their struggle was then that it resulted in arrogance and impatience and too much emotional attachment to other things that brought about their downfall. And that made sense, because okay, you've got someone who can't handle that amount of power and that kind of responsibility, but now you've got someone who just deals with it with no problems whatsoever. You've completely undermined any kind of character arc you could have had there.
Mention for EFAP continuity, if you guys remember, I think Rags is the only person who'd be aware of this, but Movie Bob, and Jay Longbone actually, Movie Bob said that she was like a super fan of Star Wars. Remember, Rey is supposed to be super duper fan as an insert. So ironically, Movie Bob would be arguing against this video, I guess, in a way. It's hard to keep track of it all. Even though those two are probably on the same team, they disagree with each other. Oh, sorry. It says, keep in mind that it was Max Landis, who, and I only know him thanks to Red Letter Media guesting him.
Media.
Yeah, he's a screenwriter for a couple of movies. Keep in mind that it was Max Landis who first claimed that Rey was a Mary Sue. You may know Max Landis from writing some of your least favorite movies. Okay.
Way to poison the well, mate.
I was about to say, let me find out what Max Landis wrote. I know he wrote that weird one with Jesse Eisenberg about writer
the Stoner movie.
So he wrote Bright, apparently, which was not well received. I haven't seen it. American Ultra, which again I don't think that was well received. Victor Frankenstein, I've heard 50-50 things on that. And then Chronicle, which was very well received from what I've heard. So
mixed bag then.
Yeah, kind of a mixed bag.
I actually liked Bright. I don't know why everyone hated it so much.
I've heard good things about Bright.
I've heard a lot of bad things. I've heard very few good things. I've always meant to see it because I need to know what the fuck is in that movie.
I think it would have made a better TV show than a movie.
Yeah, because there's so much
kind of
lore and
yeah. So I guess his point there is that Max Landis shouldn't be trusted about her being a Mary Sue because he's a bad writer.
It's so absurd. Like, oh yeah, everyone didn't think she was a Mary Sue until Max Landis said it. It's like, oh, people were saying, oh, everyone liked the prequels until Red Letter Media came out. It's like, no, what are you talking
Nobody
about?
walked out of the theater from The Last Jedi thinking Rey's kind of OP, isn't she? No one did.
No one said that.
Max said it, and then it became true.
Well, so this is the thing about when Daisy Ridley was like, the term is sexist. I'd be like, okay, so I guess from now on we should stop saying Mary Sue and just say the elements of Mary Sue instead. So she's super powerful, all the characters really like her, and she seems to be an insert for the audience / whatever else. If you say that, because that's the whole point of words, right? That a lot of them are shorthand for meaning a lot of other things we come to understand as a collective. If different people have different definitions for fucking Mary Sue, or they find it sexist, it's like, fine, we'll just say the other things.
Yeah, there's a perfectly serviceable male equivalent, and it's just the concept that's there. You can apply it to anyone. The character doesn't even have to be human at all. Like
Yeah,
whoever's
plus I
got
don't care
those
what
traits is a
Daisy
Mary
really
Sue.
thinks.
I mean, some
You
people
can call male characters Mary Sue.
I was about to
Everyone knows
say,
what
some
you're
people
talking about.
refer to male characters as Mary Sues, and you could be like, you could call them Gary Stews, sure, but most people consider Mary Sues and Gary Stews to be different things. They're like sort of different criticism. Like a Gary Stew pertains to different sort of attributes, but again, you can call a male character a Mary Sue because most people will know what you're talking about. They're going to be super OP, going to solve all the problems the plot presents, and basically all the characters will like her, including the bad guys. Yes, we all
Something
agree
I
on
want
that.
to point out: the capitalization on these fucking sentences are all over the place. There's like a small A, and then like he doesn't capitalize Chronicle, which is the title of a fucking movie, and then he doesn't capitalize it when he goes to the next sentence.
You're right. What the hell?
Why has he got Ghostbusters underneath Mary Sue as well?
Because it's a joke.
Ghostbusters.
Well, are the Ghostbusters considered Mary Sue's?
Wait,
I thought they were just considered terrible.
Ghostbusters, yeah.
They're just considered idiots, I think.
Yeah, I don't recall anyone criticizing Ghostbusters because the protagonists were Mary Sue. Is because they were unfunny and cringy and awful, and no one liked them.
Genuinely, why is Ghostbusters there?
I guess because he's probably. Well, I guess that he's linking in the whole
Topical.
sexism thing. Mary Sue must be sexist because it's called Mary Sue. People didn't like Ghostbusters because they hate women. It only makes sense.
Okay.
So now that we've given a arguably, I would say that halfway inaccurate definition, tied sexism to people who think that Ray's a Mary Sue, poisoning the well with Max Landis. Now that you've officially done all of those things in one convenient still image, we can proceed.
I can't wait for him to explain to me how she's not an idealized and seemingly perfect character. Go for it.
Oh, it's not a still. We've just been here for fucking ever.
Oh, you gave us time to read it. I appreciate that. Why could you just said all of this?
Because, I don't know.
And to be honest with you, I really hate the term Mary
cares.
Sue because, yes, there are instances and circumstances to where in Hollywood films we do get female characters and male characters and certain
Yeah, we have
other
Gary Stews.
characters that might be overpowered. However, I feel like for the most part, and specifically here, it's justified as to why Rey is so powerful, and she does make a lot of mistakes in the process, which were
Okay.
She cut that
Well,
rock
because
out one time.
she missed her swing there. That's her
She
showing
missed a swing one
mistake.
time. Too bad, but this never ever translate into any actual consequence.
Yeah. I love how he's
those
recording
people
all his
lost their,
audio, like just as if he still stood in front of the camera. He's not actually got a microphone or anything there to talk
Yeah.
into.
I guess it's consistent.
These fancy microphones.
But he found a long way of saying she's not that powerful. It's justified. Her power is justified, and she makes mistakes. That's all he said there.
Well, how could her power be justified if we don't even know what her background is yet?
Well,
2
unless-
movies in and
Is
we
this,
don't know
is
anything
this,
about her.
yeah, is this just going to be one of those classic arguments of like, well, I have decided that Rey isn't overpowered and she does make mistakes and she's a completely relatable character.
Or-
Moving on.
Or going as far as being like, well, anybody can be super powerful in the Star Wars universe, so it makes sense.
Apparently,
I want to see if I can preempt his argument here to justify Rey's power, because there is that line from Snoke where he said, you know, the Force would produce someone on the light side to balance out your evil. Like, is that the line that?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to say.
The light rises and the dark with it, or vice versa, or something.
And
So
so he
they're
might be
equals,
saying.
not opposites.
Yeah, he might just be saying she was given huge power by the Force to balance out Kylo Ren. Of course, it doesn't explain how she learns to control it so easily.
yeah,
and
because
how,
those two are balanced.
Such a lame fucking argument, man. It's just
And who
sitting
is
like,
Snoke's
God damn
foil?
it.
Luke?
It's this thing as well. Like, if you're someone who's lived a horrible life like she has, you know, stuck on this desert planet with no resources and having to struggle to survive every day, and you're suddenly given this immense power, you've got no frame of reference for how to control that. You would go off the rails a little bit, like anyone would. You would become drunk with power, but again,
yeah, you'd have to
she doesn't.
become adjusted to what you suddenly have.
But that would be
Or it'll
interesting.
self-destructive, yeah, that would be interesting. But this is Rian Johnson's.
The second you veer into interesting cause, he's like, no, stop it, put the pen down.
We'll take care of that.
The more it's weird. The more we talk about Rey, the more I look at the prequels, and I'm like, oh my god, they actually did a not bad job. I'm like, I'm starting to
people.
more.
It's profound. TLJ made people hate TFA and start to like the prequels. It's like, wait, what's happening here? What have you done?
You did it! Yay!
We're going to be
Created
talking
a new
about
point
a
of
few.
reference.
Mistake. Wait. I didn't
What?
catch that. I didn't catch that.
Gary?
Mistakes that our
What'd it
gallery. Let's have a look.
Our gal.
And she does make a lot of mistakes in the process, which we're going to be talking about in a few.
Mistakes that our gal. I didn't get to read.
So it was
Our gal Ray.
It was
Our
mistakes that our
gal
gal Ray
Ray.
makes. I got it.
Okay, I couldn't read it fast enough.
Our
I was
gal.
trying to. The whole point of text is to read. Okay, ignores Luke's warnings to try and save Kylo Ren. Oh no, she's too pure of heart. Oh, what a fucking
shit.
idiot.
Hey, Doomcock, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
It's been so
Hello.
long.
Hey man,
It has been a long time. I'm very honored to join you in this noble experiment, a 24-hour stream.
As to why Rey is so powerful, and she does
Is that all working for everybody?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw Rey waving her stick around in her best impression of Star Wars kid, so that's good.
Yeah, I critiqued that scene itself in one of my videos.
Oh, that
and
video
she's
was
just-
good shit,
she's
man.
Swinging wildly like it's a baseball bat, and she's doing this wide, stupid. It's like the most retarded sword stance you could ever take. It's just so dumb. Oh,
Truly, she's the chosen one.
Yeah.
What's the thing? She has these kind of skills, and yet she's basically the most dominant power in the history of fucking Star Wars. She outclasses Snoke, Luke, and the Emperor.
mosquitoes away!
You guys understand
Well, that's true.
there's a chance she will go back in time and defeat the Emperor or some shit.
Oh my goodness!
Absolutely.
So bad it
Or be Shmi Skywalker and give birth to Anakin to start
That
the whole
one-
line. But
Honestly, hearing that one, I was like, man, that sounds like they might do that. Shit.
exactly.
She looks kind of like
It's
the same
just Jar
actress.
Jar Abrams. It's his modus operandi that he would love nothing more than to put his filthy spore on every single aspect of the Star Wars universe in retrofitting it to his own hideous image. It's just absolutely
And-
his modus.
Oh,
And
the rise
how-
of Skywalker? No.
Well, how incredibly empowering would it be for women to see Rey come to realize that she doesn't need a man to make a baby?
That's so good it might be the case. So, like,
She's the Virgin Mary Sue.
No,
The Virgin Mary. I love it.
not since
memes will be made
Calgon
about
have
that.
women been so liberated.
it's so sad it's gonna happen, isn't it?
Yep.
There's so many ways they can destroy more, because this is the thing, after TLJ people are like, well, at least Star Wars can't get any more deader, and it's like, there's always more.
No. Oh, Lando's still alive.
does make a
Poor
lot
Lando.
of mistakes in the process, which we're going to be talking about in a few.
So I just want to pause
Okay.
and point out, you know, the defense people make of that scene with her flailing around with that lightsaber is that she isn't supposed to know how to fight. This is her just working it out and stuff, which is contradicted completely by the fact that then she takes on the Imperial Guard and beats
at
them
this
toe to
point-
toe.
And at this point, she's already defeated Kylo Ren in a lightsaber fight.
She has the power
Right.
to make weapons disappear.
Wasn't the argument that since she knows how to use her staff, she knows how to sword fight?
That is a
Oh,
retarded
Jesus
argument
Christ,
that's
yeah.
I
used.
guess
Well,
not in that scene.
Shad, why don't you just obliterate that argument? Go for it.
Oh, just there's so much wrong with it. I mean, there are certain things that would translate, like if your understanding of distance and timing is a very inherent kind of skill in combat that you can actually translate even from unarmed to weapons, right? But in terms of the techniques, okay, how to hold your sword if you're fighting high to low and everything like that, there is very little similarity between staff, fighting and sword fighting, especially of the style that we see in the Star Wars things. is so little. Like if you only ever used a staff and then you picked up a sword, and even if you had that understanding of distance and timing, and you went up against someone who trained with the sword, and is experienced with them, the person who's experienced will obliterate the other person very easily, because there are certain things that you can tell when someone picks up a sword who doesn't know how to use it properly, especially with the right stances and reactions and maneuvers and stuff. It is phenomenally easy to manipulate them to open up. I actually made a recent video trying to teach my brother how to sword fight, and he's a total noob, only picks it up, and it's hilarious how much I trash him and just destroy him, because it's so easy to predict what he's doing, because he just doesn't understand the things. And that was the joke. I'm not criticizing my brother. That was the fun of the video. But no, there is so little that translate in terms to the actual form and stuff. Yeah.
Well, that all makes perfect sense, and I would believe you if you're from the UK. I don't know if I can believe you because you're from Australia.
Well, I've killed Australian, animals with my swords. All right, I've had real battlefield practice.
I'll believe you if you were talking about throwing your boomerang.
Now, if you were from America, then yeah, definitely.
So are you suggesting, Shad, that if you're experienced and fluent with something like a long sword, it may not be helpful when wielding a mace?
Actually, there's more relation between a mace and a longsword than there is between a longsword and a quarterstaff.
What do you think would be relative in this scenario?
As in, what? I guess, what would translate?
Yeah, because I guess a staff is like an actual weapon people would typically use in scenarios, right? A staff? Am I crazy for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Pole arms and quarterstaffs and things like that. The way Rey fights with her staff is actually not the best way that you actually... She's holding it in the middle and trying to usually hit with both sides and things when you see her fight. You actually generally hold the staff right at the very end, like a long spear or something like that, even if it's blunt. That's generally the much better way to fight with a long, quarterstaff-like weapon and everything. Because the way she's holding it, when you try and move the sword from one side of your body to the other, you have the other end of the staff protruding that would obviously get in the way. It's knocking against your body. And so you actually have to raise it vertically in front of you to get the bottom end of the staff to the other side of your body, which locks off a huge amount of technique that you could do if that wasn't getting in the way. Because with a sword, there's nothing protruding further past the pommel. And because of that, you can hold the sword directly in front of you and spin it around and do proper high moves, high guards, and everything like that. And there's nothing getting in the way. And you can utilize those maneuvers to a really high level of effect. And this is what I'm saying why you would get thrown off if you were using the staff like what Rey was doing it, because she would be completely unfamiliar with these forward guard positions, stuff like that, where you can maneuver the sword so easily one side to the other, because you can't do that with the staff. And so she would be lost on a lot of very significant longsword style techniques. Not even longsword, even just katana styles.
I was just thinking if you were on set when all of this was prepped and they were like, so is anything you think we should correct? I can imagine you being like, okay, I have a note.
Well,
I've compiled a compendium of errors.
just see the script? He's like, yeah, you throw it off a cliff. You're like, there we go. We're getting there.
See, I'm like,
let's start from scratch.
Jesus Christ. I did a video about how bad this situation actually is, because look at the structure of it. I mean, it's mathematically sound to make this argument. Look, you've got Luke Skywalker, who's a Jedi Master. Okay. So he's got this school and he's training young Ben to be a Jedi. So his student is so powerful relative to Luke that the student not only kicks Luke's ass, but destroys his entire school without being trained. That is how powerful Kylo Ren is. So powerful that Luke runs off to an island and sucks on manatee milk and nurses his wounds.
Wouldn't you?
Then Rey comes along, and she is so vastly more powerful than Kylo Ren that she defeats him without any training whatsoever. Therefore, she is, by extension, vastly as more powerful as she is than Kylo Ren. She is vastly, 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 vastly more superior to Luke. And that is what Disney is holding up as a sequel trilogy. That is the role model for kids, to utterly and completely make Luke Skywalker shit on the underside of not only Kylo Ren's boot, but Rey's moccasins.
Well, let's say you looked at the script or you could view the movie, but instead of knowing which characters were which and what their history was, their age was, their training was, anything, you just replace them with just character A, character B, character C, and say, okay, this person beats that person does this, that person does this. You would have absolutely no idea who was the almost lifelong Jedi Master, who was the apprentice, who was the nobody who just got their hands on a lightsaber. You would have absolutely no idea. You would assume that Luke was the guy who'd never held a lightsaber in his life, and it'd be insanely confused. You'd have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. There's great writing, Rian Johnson. Boy, can't wait to see Knives Out. Oh wait, yeah, I can.
I was about to say, are you gonna check that out? Are you gonna fucking boycott that shit? Like,
oh hell no! I'm never gonna go pay to see anything that idiot does. That
even from the trailer,
buffoon.
Rian Johnson's fucking trademark humor is in there. I was like, oh good, they got these really crappy, ill-timed jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad to see him get a fucking all-star cast though. It's just like, oh, I guess that's just something he can do. Okay.
Well, he's got the money to do it. I guess they haven't really paid attention to what's going on in Star Wars fandom, but that's the guy that basically put the final nail in, let's say, of the Star Wars franchise. I think Jar Jar Abrams, of course, is the one who really, did the damage. He always does. It's like with Star Trek. He plants the seeds of, he basically raises the crop, makes a huge amount of money because that crop is raised and every bit of it has been converted, but then salts the land and moves on to the next franchise. And that's what's happened with Last Jedi. It's growing out of salted ground, literally red salt. That is not just a metaphor. It is actual literal fact in The Last Jedi. Salted fucking earth.
Yeah. Whenever I send messages in the chat, by the way, I know it's not my confirmed ticked maulers because this is the Google account or whatever the hell. It's attached to the OBS thing I'm using. Don't worry, it's actually me. It's not some imposter. But yes, are we good to continue?
We are.
Yes.
Let's off.
Wonderful.
So if Mauler in the chat asks you for your credit card information, you can trust him.
Yes. So this is so what he's trying to do here is mount an argument for how she's not perfect. So his first criticism of Rey is, hey man, she's not perfect. She ignored Luke's warnings to try and save Kylo Ren. So the idea is that she's too nice. That is her flaw.
Yeah, it is a character flaw of George Washington that he ignored King George III's command to remain subservient. I agree.
Yeah, because it's not even like Luke is not established as like a good character. He's all fucked up.
Not even sound of mind. He's like, yeah, let everyone die. It's like, what? And I'm sorry, but when Luke Skywalker tells you should give up on someone, it's like, Jesus Christ, what happened to you, man?
Fuck,
Like,
you saved Darth Vader. That's kind of fucked up.
I was gonna say,
I know,
Kylo
they
isn't as
must
bad as Vader.
They
Like
must
Luke
be.
did. Like, Luke did this with Darth Vader, and it seems like they were just trying to, establish Rey as the new Luke Skywalker with hope and everything like that. I mean, and it was never implied that Luke's choice to try and save Darth Vader was wrong. I mean, and ultimately, Darth Vader did turn and help out his son and save his life and kill the Emperor, so that worked out. That kind of sets a precedent that it's good to try and save the bad guy. And so I'm not seeing a character flaw because of this.
Yeah, ignoring bad advice.
I guess
not,
but that's how
many would
desperate people
consider
are.
A character flaw.
That's how desperate people are to prove that she's not perfect. It's like, look,
But she doesn't listen to Luke Skywalker. Well, Luke was dumb, and I wouldn't listen to him either necessarily in her position. That's the thing. I have no idea how to get into Rey's mind. Like, I have no idea what her perspective is.
what a shame, dude.
I don't
Like,
even know why she's here.
the idea that this is where we're at. It's like, Luke was right. You should give up on your family. It's like, oh, Luke was right. Oh no.
I like
Well,
it would
actually,
be
right.
It's kind of like basically these guys are following the outline of a young adult romance novel. And the reason that she disregards Luke's warning to try and save Kylo Ren is because, well, I know he's bad, but she thinks she can change him. If only she just loves him enough, right? That's basically it. They've set up the thing with the, oh, put on your shirt. Oh, don't put on your shirt. Oh, I love you. That's basically it.
She saw him with his shirt off, and now she's in love. They're like,
Yep, that's it. That's all it took.
Here's the
it's Kylo Ren's primary seductive mode because it keeps her eyes off of his gigantic nose, and that really helps.
How fucking awkward the scene where he's got his shirt off. People cite that as like, see, she's falling for him. It's like, yeah, what the fuck? Wait, what? When was that a thing? What?
Yeah, you see, if you get a tingle in your vajoodle, that means you're in love.
Did he kill your father figure?
love.
It doesn't matter.
And you know, if these roles were like, if the genders were switched, okay, if Rey was a male character and Kylo was the female character, there would be much criticism in how shallow this thing, like, you know, Rey is only ogling the other character because you know, she's showing cleavage and stuff, and that's the only interest this character is showing with, and she's just got an attraction. And there's no deep romantic, you know, it's not established or anything like that. But because it's you know, now she's a female, it's fine. She can ogle as much as she likes.
Sure.
Well, it's terrible
and it's depicted as actual credible character motivation that she does.
And by the way, she wasn't strictly wrong. She proves that Kylo was actually not interested in dominating the world. Genuine question. What did Kylo want from her? He was like, let's ignore the rebels and the Empire and start our own new cool club, right? That was his thing?
He wants a girlfriend. He's lonely.
So, like, Luke was wrong that he was fully bad, but Rey was also wrong that he was fully good. It's like, okay.
I want you to be my queen.
I don't really know what that means, but okay.
Because of the rules the Empire and the galaxy.
The shit's too complicated. But let's see what her other flaws are, come on.
I think people are saying in the chat that it needs to be refreshed. There's F5 people are saying people F and F5 and stuff. Refresh.
Oh yeah, if the stream goes down at all for any reason, just refresh and it should be back up. If anything worse than that happens, I will do something about it. But my main like litmus test for that is, can you guys still hear me? And if you both everyone's replying to me, I guess like, well, my internet's still working.
No.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, so second flaw. She dwells within the dark side to find her true parentage and fails.
Wait,
No, she doesn't.
Wait, did he not explain anything about? Did he just skip into a new thing without talking about
he's
it?
Not, he's not, so he's just displaying them in words, I guess. Like there's no development.
All right. Okay.
Like
she
Rey.
dwells within the dark side to find her true parentage and fails. She dwells within the dark side.
You find her true parentage and fails. I'm not even sure what this means.
Was that cave supposed to be the dark side? I thought it was just like a...
Well,
There's only one light.
She openly rejected it and tried to escape from it.
Hey, you're
get
right.
away
It was
from
literally
it.
dark.
Well, this is the thing. Do you remember the movie where Luke is like, explore, 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 and then she like apparently sees the dark side. He goes, you went straight to it. What the fuck? Like, what? You told me you...
I didn't know what it... I didn't know what it was. And then I ran away from it. What do you want me to do?
And he's like, I've never seen such disgusting power since Kylo Ren. I tried to kill him in his sleep, so imagine what I'll do to you. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's like a Chewie, lock the Millennium Falcon tonight. Just saying.
Just Luke rocking back and forth. It's like, she's going to be the next bad thing that I won't do anything about.
She scatters a bunch of porgs inside the Millennium Falcon so they'll chirp if they see anybody move or something.
They sound exactly like a alarm clock.
All right, little
Luke's
ones,
like thinking,
warn me
I
of
need to
the
find a
danger.
new island to run to. But what?
If you see a green glow, run far.
Oh yeah,
away.
he has to leave Act 2 to find a different island to then recluse himself to.
Right.
I was going to bring up as well, if he actually did that, if he held the lightsaber over while she's sleeping, she woke up, she wouldn't pull the roof down on him, you know, knock him out. She would literally just separate him into atoms. That's how fucking strong she is.
She would annihilate him.
Oh yeah.
Remember in
she
Empire
dwells within
Strikes
the
Back?
dark.
Remember in Empire Strikes Back when Luke goes into that dark tunnel and he like faces his inner demons? Yeah, that was Luke like giving into the dark side.
Dwells within the dark side.
Well, at least he had the good courtesy to chop his head off. You know, she didn't. She didn't. She had infinite rays, and she just said, "Hey, what's up?"
I was about to say, I didn't even know that place was the dark side. It was just like a place. It's like, oh, it's literally just a hole of mirrors. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I
if
wouldn't
it
want
is
to
the
live
dark
here.
And
I
Luke's like,
guess.
did you see how dark it was down there? And she's like, oh yeah, there wasn't any lights, I guess. It's like, in fairness, it was nighttime in a cave, so I don't really. It doesn't seem like it would be light. I don't know.
It almost
it
just
was the
basically
dark
looked like
side-
accidentally wandered onto the set of Game of Thrones season 8, episode 3. Basically that's it.
If that cave was the dark side and she goes into it and then the cave rejects her and she fails, doesn't that mean she's like ultra light? Like,
yeah, she failed to join the dark side. Is that a good thing?
How's that a flaw?
How are you?
She didn't glow in there. She was dark too. I don't know.
She touched a mirror and saw herself. Failure.
To be
Can I
fair,
also
most of us see ourselves when at a mirror.
That's
I know, and that is why we fail.
I just
Well,
love
we
the
all dwell in the dark side.
We're all the dark
before.
That's right.
That's the
That's
thing.
why we fail.
Before we can figure out whether or not she dwelled there or she failed anything, we're like, okay, so you've defined it as the dark side. This weird hole. Like, I don't even know where you got that from. Like, all of it is just stated as if, like, yeah, it's just true.
Can I also say,
I guess is kind of fucked up.
the vein of argument he's taking here isn't actually contradicting the fact that Rey is a Mary Sue. That a Mary Sue can exist with one or two minor flaws because it's a balance. And even the definition, what was it? It was a seemingly perfect. That's not to say an exactly perfect. It's a character that has the appearance that is mostly perfect. That there are not enough flaws to balance out against the endless, strengths, positive things that the character has, and also that these positive character traits, the power that they have, isn't justified properly. So if he wants to actually argue to say that she isn't a Mary Sue, he would, instead of trying to say, look, there's a flaw right here, okay, maybe he might be able to point out a single flaw that Rey has, right? That doesn't contradict the fact that she's a Mary Sue still, okay? Because that single small flaw doesn't balance it out in any measure. It's still way, way skewed in Rey's favor with her, all her, skills, character traits, powers, and all those things.
So what you're saying is, if this was a flaw, it does not help the argument whatsoever that she has flaws because it's such a shitty flaw in the first place. But there are also like 4 different issues with his definition of this being a flaw. Like we have 4 different ways of breaking this down. They're like no, just no. So I guess we can move on to the next one.
I guess so.
Flaws. These are mistakes.
I love it. Just she has no context for this. If Luke was like, "Oh, there's a big butthole on this island. That's the dark side. Don't touch it." Like, okay.
She's not perfect. She ended that sentence with a preposition. She's shit.
Like, imagine you were there with her, and she's about to like go up to it. You're like, "Oh, that looks kind of weird. What is that?" And she's like, "I don't fucking know." You're like, "Okay, just check it out. I'll repel you down. Like, why not?" And it looks like that's the dark side. You fucking retards. You're like, "Oh." Really? Like, why
The dark side's a physical location. You can just go visit.
That's a really weird aspect, because I thought that the whole point in Empire Strikes Back was that like area of Dagobah would challenge you, or like you'd have to face your demons in a way. It would like, for all we know, the mushrooms there were giving off some sort of an experience.
No.
I think it's a characteristic of masters in these fantasy films that they are all dicks. Because look at Game of Thrones. Look at the Three-Eyed Raven, Max von Sydow. What would be the one thing that you would start off the training of Bran? The one thing would be, oh, and by the way, Bran, whatever you fucking do not travel over to Warg where the Night King is and let him touch you, okay?
Yeah,
that's the one thing that would completely destroy everything by shattering the spells on the wall and give him the chance to escape. Don't do that. But instead,
I was just going to say, half of us don't have the context for this, so just to explain, right, there's a guy who's trying to teach a main character how to use the power of the Three-Eyed Raven, which essentially allows you to look into the past, future, and present wherever you want at any time.
Yeah, to design your wheelchairs, yeah.
Pretty OP.
Yeah.
Now, nothing can stop you, and nothing can get at you. Also, there's an army of ice demons that are trying to cross the wall. The only way they're going to be able to get to you is if they touch you while you're exploring shit. So basically, Bran goes off on his own after what looks to be a lot of time exploring shit, and the ice demon guy touches his arm, and it makes it so that there's no defenses for Bran at that point onwards, that the Ice King could just break through everything because he's touched him. And the fucking guy who's been teaching him all of this shit for potential like a year or whatever didn't tell him about this. Like,
yeah, I would have let off with that one.
Right. That would be the first. It would be etched on the fucking wall. Don't let creepy old Iceman touch you.
Lesson number 1: do not let the Night King touch you. All other lessons are irrelevant.
Do whatever the fuck you want outside of that. Christ, why does everything suck?
That's basically it. So, Yeah, so Yoda sends Luke into the tree to, have to decapitate himself, and Luke lets Rey go down into the arsehole of the island where it's very, very dark. Yeah, it's just a dick thing, I guess. I don't know.
I just realized. So let's have this play out. She goes down, she comes back, and he goes, "You went to the dark side butthole." She's like, "Yep." He's like, "You're probably full on dark side. Disgusting." She's like, "Well, why'd you have a problem with that?" "Well, dark side's bad." It's like, "Oh, so the light side's better?" It's like, "I thought you said the Jedi suck." Well, okay, yeah, but the dark side's worse, even though the light side kind of suck. And it's like, okay, so why aren't you going to help me stop the dark side from obliterating the galaxy? Because I don't want to. I fucking want to drink milk.
And then she ends it by saying, "Oh, lol, just kidding. The dark side was scary."
She's like, "Oh shit, I've got all this power. I'm going to use it to destroy the Empire and take over the world." He's like, "Oh, okay."
At least you're not the Jedi.
Like, yeah, at least you're not the Jedi.
Should probably do something about this, but
Yeah.
I came here to die, Rey. Over 30 years, I've just sat here waiting to die because I don't know how dying works.
You'd think this damn milk would have killed me by now, but I just keep on sucking.
He's like, I'm
All
gonna
it
do
does
it.
is make my bones strong and healthy.
Osteoporosis is a joke to me. Do you hear? A joke.
If you haven't gathered, Rey, I make no sense. just as a person in general.
Force bone.